Despite being around for over 25 years, I wouldn't blame you if you'd never heard of a freeboard before. But this is a kind of skateboard that lets you snowboard on concrete. It's absolutely mental, and people are doing the most insane tricks on them that completely blow my mind. Whether it's insanely fast spins, huge freestyle jumps, or just carving with insane style, freeboards are absolutely incredible. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you all about what a freeboard is. We'll be meeting someone from the Freeboard Pro team, looking over all of the most insane freeboard tricks that have been done, and meet an absolute legend that goes by the name The Claude, who's the oldest freeboard rider at 79 years old, and he is an absolute beast. And if you're new to freeboarding, definitely stay tuned for this one because it's going to be absolutely sweet. Alright, let's get straight to it. Freeboards emulate snowboarding on concrete because of a six-wheel design of two spinning centre wheels that are closer to the ground than the other four edge wheels. And because of this, the four edge wheels create two edges, just like a snowboard, and the spinning centre wheels create the spinning centre that you would also have on a snowboard. And this is why you'll find loads of snowboarders using freeboards during the summer when they're not able to snowboard because there isn't any snow. There's been multiple iterations of the freeboard over the last 25 years, including the Alpha series, which didn't have bindings, the G3 and the G3R series, which are some of the most popular boards, and now most recently with the 5 and the 5X, where the 5X has this incredible spring truck system which allows for a much deeper carve than any of the other freeboards, making it the closest to snowboarding of all of the previous freeboards. If you want a comparison between all of these boards, I've done extensive videos comparing them, but needless to say, any of these boards are insanely fun to learn, and there's a board for basically any budget, and so there's never actually been a better time to take up freeboarding than now. But you might think, why would I get a freeboard when I could just skateboard? Well, here are some of the most insane freeboard videos which will show you why freeboards are fundamentally different to skateboards and are much more like street snowboards. Whether we're talking about the first freeboard backflip when Arnaud de Blues cleared a 360 off a mega ramp, or even jump 360s on huge stair sets, it's clear that freeboards are incredibly versatile and can be used anywhere from a skate park for freestyle to the top of mountains where you can bomb down at insane speeds. Again, here's Arnaud carrying the freeboard team with an absolutely mental bomb. But if that's too much for you, you can definitely just carve down these hills in a really chill way, which is what I do, and freeboarding like that is still insanely fun. And you can pull off some insane tricks like this. What the fuck? Which is called an overslide, and it absolutely blows my mind every time I see it. So with all these kinds of riding in mind, there's definitely a riding style for you, regardless of what kind of things you enjoy doing on a skateboard. And my personal favourite aspect of freeboarding is going around my city and finding spots to turn into snow slopes or freestyle spots. The possibilities are honestly endless because there's always new tricks to practice, especially if you like watching the Freeboard MFG montages as much as I do. Because you can just watch the videos and see which tricks the pros have figured out you can do on a freeboard, and then try and learn them yourself. And as an example of an incredibly inspiring rider who goes by the name The Claude amongst freeboarders, not only because he's called Claude, but because of the way that he rides with incredible finesse like a cloud. I mean, just look at his riding, he's just gliding through the air, and it just goes to show that you can start freeboarding at literally any age and still find something incredibly fun in it. Here's a little clip of why The Claude started freeboarding from one of Quentin's videos, and I'll leave the link in the description if you want to see the whole video.
Un jour, Guillaume m'a dit, papa, il y a un gars qui a inventé ce que tu as toujours voulu faire. Alors quand j'ai vu Lausanne Soap Style, j'ai dit, mon objectif, j'irai à Lausanne. Et depuis, je viens chaque année retrouver cette grande famille. La sécurité en freeboard, la première des choses, c'est l'échauffement. Par contre, sauter des trottoirs, il faut que je m'entraîne. Ce sera fait.
Claude is just an absolute inspiration, and I really think his will to learn the freeboard so late will inspire so many others to take it up. Honestly, he's an absolute legend. So now we've seen some of the insane tricks that people are doing on freeboards. We've seen how the Claude is inspiring the next generation of freeboarders with his immense determination and his incredible floaty riding style. It's time to meet one of the professional freeboarders to ask him what his favourite aspects of freeboard riding are. Whether that's the community, snowboarding the streets, or something else, let's find out where he started and continues to freeboard.
I mean, this is actually the second time that we've done this, so it's quite exciting to actually get it to finally work.
So the first question is basically, which parts of freeboarding motivate you to keep doing the sport, and why did you start basically?
So yeah, I started freeboarding 13 years ago when I was still a kid. I was 13 years old actually. A good friend of mine that I used to skateboard with, ripstick as well. We used to do so many random stuff in the street with a little group of friends. Thibaut, who one day showed me a video on the internet, and it was the video called Freebords on Wheels, in which you can see some freeboard legends such as Bentley Anderson, Corey Lucero, my copy of course, OG Freeboarders. And then I remember the group of kids in the living room of my friend in front of the computer being like in shock, like what the fuck is this? It's looking so fucking nice. All of us wanted to get a board. So the little story of that is that at first my parents didn't want me to get a board, so I started building one. Very fucked up, definitely nobody wants to ride this. After this, my mom saw the board I built, and then she got scared for me to ride this. So I got a real freeboard for Christmas and birthday, and yeah, then it was the start. But it was not the real start, because we actually ride it for like 2 months. We were struggling, it was impossible to ride. So we all stopped, and that's 1 year later, after going back from a ski trip, that I wanted so much to have that feeling of the snow. I wanted to ski on the asphalt at the very basis. And then I remember I had this freeboard, started again. When I was able to do some tricks, I actually tell my friend, hey, you should try more freeboard, let's do some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like, I definitely had it too, where I started for some number of months and then basically cut it down. So I think it's pretty common for people to start freeboarding then. It doesn't give them the same sensation that they see in the videos, because it looks so seamless when professionals do it. It looks so straightforward, but then you just feel like kind of giving up quite soon.
Yeah, I think that actually what you just said is a common problem in freeboard, is that people expect to be good like this, you know.
Yeah.
And that's not how things work. I mean, like, if you want to get good at something, you have to practice and practice and practice and practice. And I think that in freeboard, it's not like a skateboard when you can take your skateboard and ride it, and then you will have difficulties learning tricks. In freeboard, just standing on the board is already something hard, and then maybe it's easier. But I mean, like the start of freeboarding is a very hard part for sure.
I always think it's the highest barrier to entry. Like the initial part is like the hardest of all.
I think that actually many people quit freeboarding before arriving to the point that they can just stand on it and go down a chill hill.
In your opinion, who has pushed the sport the most, as in from the inception of freeboarding? I mean, there's loads of really famous riders like Arnaud, there's Mike Hoppy, I mean, all kind, like, do you have one who you think has sort of taken it the furthest?
So, yeah, in my opinion, 100% I would say Jordi Puig. I think that all the pro riders before Jordi actually were good, but mostly focused on downhill, and then they started a bit of freestyle. But Jordi definitely brings the sport into another dimension by bringing freestyle, like totally crazy tricks that you could have think of, but never think that it was actually possible to do it on the board. And actually, I think that Jordi pushed the sport, and then you're feeling more secure when you saw a trick in a video, so you know that it's actually possible to do it.
Yeah.
So then you try it. So I think Jordi definitely showed the way.
What are the main tricks that you've seen? I mean, I've seen him clear the double stair set with the sort of flat bit in the middle on a 360.
Yeah, I think that the first trick that comes to my mind was like make big gaps in 360 front side, but he just bring it to 15 stairs, and it was like totally mental, you know. So then you know that you could do this. And basically I remember Jordi saying to myself, if you can ollie a gap, you can 360 it. He was able to clear, I think his best gap was 7, flat 7, which is so big. Basically Jordi made many cool video projects back in the days. The thing in freeboard is you skate like a snowboarder. And in the snowboard, you don't actually just go down hills, you know. You want to hit some powder, you want to hit some kickers, you want to trick, you want to butters. And I think that Jordi bring the freestyle at the same level of the downhill, you know. Before Jordi, people were mostly downhill, focus on downhill, which is very good. I like to downhill for sure. But I mean, like, bringing the freestyle to the top as well is cool because it shows that the freeboard is actually a crazy sport because it's very, very polyvalent. You can ride downhill like people does on a longboard, but you can also go hit some rails like people on the skateboard, you know. This combo of the both side of the freeboard that Jordi brings, that makes freeboard so special. You can do whatever you want. You understand that freeboard is not just going down a hill and spinning. You can ollie, you can tail press, you can gaps, you can rails. What makes the sport very complete and special.
You can basically open up so much stuff at a skate park.
Yeah.
Especially if you're watching these montages, you see what they're doing, and then you just try and replicate whatever people have already come up with. The creative process has already sort of been done by people like Jordi and you as well with the, I mean, I don't know, were you the first to instigate this whole, you know, where you take your feet off the bindings and then you'll spin?
Yeah. Show it.
Yeah, that's pretty sick too. So, which board did you start with, and what do you ride now, and how has it sort of gone between?
Okay. So yeah, actually, I started freeboarding very young. As I said, I was 1.50 m, so I was a young little kid. So I ended up with a board that was like way too big for me. It was an 85. For a little kid like me, it was impossible to ride it clearly. When I got some money, I don't know, 1 year after, I managed to get a 80, which was way better for me, and not a long time ago. But I actually broke my G3R 3 weeks ago, and now I'm on the Freeboard 5 all the time, and I fucking love it. I love the rocker that it brings. I think it's a bit heavier than the G3R, but for the downhill part, it's pretty nice. I really love it. I find the 5X very fun to ride, but I think it's more for people that only ride downhill, and for what it is, it's very efficient. But I think good riders and people who want to push the sport are definitely more into the Freeboard 5 because it's a more complete experience. You can adapt on freestyle spot as well as downhill.
Do you have a favourite design historically of all of the freeboards?
I think the one you have just behind you.
This one?
yeah, I think that one is very nice. I remember when it was released, I liked it a lot. Yeah, the one you have, and probably the Catalyst is. I remember I was a kid when the Catalyst was released, and I was like, wow, that's so beautiful.
So to anyone watching who hasn't freeboarded, what would you say to them in order to sort of really make them think, oh shit, I need to get into this?
I think that freeboard is something very special because it's a small sport, a growing sport, very strong community. So it's like very different from skateboarding or longboarding or any other riding sport that is a bit more popular. There is no like competition mindset. It's more like friendly, and everyone try to help you on just having a good experience. I think it's very nice also in terms of traveling. I had the chance to go to so many destinations thanks to Freeboard guys, because actually it's very easy to hang out with a freeboarder. You're like on Instagram or on Facebook, like, hey, you do freeboard and you live in Guatemala, okay, no problem, come to my place. For now, in 15 years of freeboarding, I've never met an asshole, you know. Like all of the freeboarders are very cool, chill, easy. Even when I was a kid and admiring the pros, they were like very easy and they can show you stuff. So there is no barrier, you know. It's very friendly community. So I would say that it's not just about riding. Everyone is riding their own way. if you want to get good at freeboarding, push yourself, get good at freeboarding. If you want to ride chill, you can enjoy your trip very chill. Like, I mean, it's not a dangerous sport. It's the way you will ride the board that will make it dangerous or not. If you want to push yourself, maybe it's more dangerous, but if you want to ride chill, you can ride chill. So yeah, and to any people who already freeboard, I think it's our role to all of us to make our sport more known, because if the community is growing, more possible events will happen. So I think it's important to post videos, communicate on social networks. It's important to also be open to discussion to any people who can reach and say, hey, I know you're a freeboarder, how can I get a board? You know, bigger events, worldwide meetings, and so I'm pretty sure it will happen. But for this, everyone needs to be an ambassador of the sport.
Thanks so much, Quentin. I mean, it's great to have like a pro freeboarder as a guest appearance.
You're welcome. No.
So I hope that this video has given you an insight onto what freeboarding is and how you can learn to street snowboard yourself. You'll probably notice that in order to make this video, I've used lots of clips from other freeboarders. These videos include the Paved for Us montage by Freeboard, along with the Stoke the Flame montage, in which at about 7 minutes in, you've got Bentley Anderson's montage, which is my personal favourite. I think it's absolutely awesome, so definitely check that one out. Other riders include Corey Lucero with the sick drifting, Mike Hoppy with the insane high-speed spins and that insane mega jump, and finally Geordie with this insanely chill drifting. Of course, thank you so much to Quentin for agreeing to show up in this video. Definitely check his channel out if you haven't already. He releases weekly freeboarding videos just like I do. So if you're into that kind of stuff, that's definitely the right place to go. And finally, if you've made it this far in the video, then thanks to you. It's amazing to think that more people are thinking about freeboarding at the moment. I really think the sport is underrated. So thanks for watching, and I'll leave you with this little outro montage. Have a good one.